暴風。
係真係跑啊！
真係跑。
唔係我阿 Jason，咁我都嚟到啦，我都睇咗3嚟啦，唔公。OK，我唔係 question 嚟㗎，我唔係 question 嚟。唔係你都有影人嘅。
即係Eason哥嘅建議嚟㗎，呢個係陳志華咁下邊咪跑步啊？
邊個見咗？你約啊？
你下次係咪我哋再挑戰大啲係？
打到你度啊！平仔話食薯片就信啫，咁我跑步你唔係信。
睇下先，邊咧？喺度。Today we still talk about the steering effect. So we are still talking about the slip angle that cause the triple dynamic. Okay, so I try to finish up today. Okay, actually, the concept for today, when I prepare, I think it is a little bit difficult to understand and a lot of math. But anyway, I tried. Okay, so at the end of the day, the big picture is that, so last time we introduced stability factor, right? Okay, and then the stability factor somewhat useful to measure the understeer, oversteer, right? Okay, actually, for that one, your impression, you remember it's a little bit complicated, right? It related to a big function that concerned with your dimension of your car. So the wheelbase, and then related to your tire cornering stiffness. Okay, so it's like, can we reduce to something that it is useful during operation? It seems like, okay, we have the equation, but if this is so many functions, that how can we use it? Okay. And only this is a bicycle model, 2 wheels. So in the sense that it seems like, so what? Okay, so we'll try to see whether this K function can relate it to a simpler function and get a useful interpretation on your steering control. Okay, because right now, actually, we are still talking about the control. Okay, and the control still limited to your steering. Okay, so as simple as that, we're going to try to see, okay, I do some steering, how my car go and rotate. So we are still in this story. Okay, don't lose it yet. Although we talk about a lot of math and complicated, but still we are trying to hold our steering wheel and see how our car go with a some kind of top, and also how the rotation come by because of the flip angle. Okay, so last time I didn't give you the homework, but let's see. I give a quick quiz. Okay, on how this thing how your understanding is.
係啊。
So, what is the password?
同嘅 IPR 嘅時候。你要咩？是但啦，我同一齊同你講。好，咁快呢個。你啲好似未做嘅，但係租到。
How can I get the?
叫做 I learn。
How can I?
真係幾租？你 search HUSD 啊。
I know. 咁，
我覺得你當咗，跟住拍落去用過啦。
Okay. So this is my short question. Okay. I have my car model. Okay, bicycle model. It is going with a velocity like this. And then I have a force Y pulling at the CD. Okay. So going like this, I have a force like this. So if this car it is understeer, it should go follow A or B.
Understeer, right?
Understeer. So A,
Let's think about it.
who's A?
Give me a moment. Give me
B. Don't search.
Okay.
Search it is not good. Okay, search is easy. think it yourself. See whether you can memorize something or you understand.
Understeer.
Don't speak. Let others think about it.
Okay.
Don't say the answer. Okay.
I got what you mean.
Right. So everybody has a chance to. Okay. Enough.
Maybe you can zoom a bit more so that we can see clearer the A and B. Yeah.
Is A the straight line or the slight curve?
Curve. So this is not going to be a straight one. You know, this is neutral steer.
Yeah.
So one of them is oversteer. One of them is understeer. Right? Okay. So what do you think? Is it A or B? Just a quick check of your knowledge. So low steer. Okay. Just apply the force. So who think A? Raise up your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you? 4. Who think B? So rest of you are B. Who are not sure? Okay. No change. B is correct. Okay, B is correct. So you're just saying this, just like if you have a force going like this, it's just like a car going a corner like this. If you think about this, then you figure force. And then if under the air, going out. Okay. So be careful. Okay, be careful about this. And actually, today we start with this one. We start with this one. So which is correct, and we should have. B is correct. Okay, I think if you're not sure, you can go back and review a little bit. Should be fine. Okay, so maybe I amend this graph a little bit, make it more clear, so that I can have. So this is the model that we have. Okay. So going back, we have my wheelbase, which is A plus B. Okay. And then we have the CG, and actually we can have a point that if I apply that force, it will go neutral steer. Okay, if I don't apply to the CG, I apply to somewhere, it should have a point that it is just a balance and go neutral steer. Okay, so this point, actually we call this neutral steer point. NSP. Okay, this is the point along the car, or you say chassis, at which external force applied produce no moment, not your moment. So there you have moment, no your velocity. So no rotation, that means your neutral steer, right? Okay, your velocity, it is your angular velocity. Okay, so this is maybe a fine picture. So this is what means the neutral steer point. So you apply force there. So this is some kind of definition. Okay, so for these things, so we do some understanding on this thing. We just try to make use of this point. Okay, and if you do a force balance over there, okay, you have the Y naught plus all the force we have. So this is what we have in the past. Plus Y del equals to MA. A is V square out. Okay, so now at this model, no rotation, so no yaw velocity, 0. We didn't steer, 0. Out, 0. Okay, so the force equation, you only have the Y naught plus Y beta equals to 0. Okay, and the moment about the neutral steer point. So you have the minus Y naught B minus A. Okay, so I should say this is what the D means. Okay, so B minus A is this moment arm. Okay, okay. y times the moment arm supported by the body slip moment equals to actually the I times the angular acceleration. So we don't have change of the angular velocity, so this is 0. Okay. And then here, then we can find the body slip angle. This is the chassis slip equals to B minus A y naught over and beta. So just rearrange the moment term, right? Okay, and solve it. So these things go back to here. We have y naught plus y beta B minus A y 0 over n beta times beta 1. Okay, beta is beta. Okay, and from here, rearrange. So this is 1 plus D minus A y naught and beta equals to 0. Okay, so this term equals to 0. You know why not? It's not 0. So support it has to be the things inside bracket equals to 0. Okay. Okay, just the math. Okay, just the math. Then you'll find out that from here equals to 0. Okay, why not is why 0 shouldn't be 0 because we apply some positive value. Okay, so you said C by rearrangement D is equals to A minus N beta y beta. So this neutral steering point length D actually related to our moment and the force by the slip angle, which is like this. Okay, and then if we try to make it dimensionless, okay, maybe per our wheelbase. So L is A plus B. Okay, and it is equals to A over L minus N beta y beta 1 over F. So we can call this neutral steer point dimensionless. Okay, so N beta, Y beta, we learned it last week, right? It is some relationship of the cornering stiffness and A and B, right? So remember N beta equals to minus DCR and Y beta equals to plus Okay, so this is something that we kept from last week. Okay, then you can pull back these two things and you have your D equals to A minus ACF minus DCR over CF plus CR. Okay, so common denominator, make it expand so that you don't get lost of the math. Okay, ACF plus ACR minus ACF plus BCR, right? Expand it like this. Then you know these two cancel out, and then you just come back to ACR plus BCR. A plus B CR plus CF plus CR. Because I try to make it slow because I think I look at a lot of reference. It jumps fast. Sometimes you guys may confuse how the equation came from. Okay, I try to be very detailed. Okay, so this is D. Again, this is D, and you know this term actually it is the wheelbase L. Okay, so go back to D over L, which is equals to CR over CF plus CR. Okay, so now we have another view of using the neutral steering point. Okay. So you want to find the neutral steering point, you may adjust your wheelbase and where the CG is. Or you can adjust your front and rear tire selection. Okay, so either way, you want to find these things. This tool, if you are in a geometry approach, then will be D over L, so you can measure and adjust and your where your CG is, and then you know this. Assume that your front and rear tire same. Okay, or you have some geometry. For example, you design your car and then I put a lot of things at the back. I cannot adjust my CG anymore, but you still want to tune it for under or oversteer. You can try to make use the selection of the tire. Okay, so front tire and rear tire, it doesn't mean that you have to fix to be the same. Okay, so this is one of the things that we can make use of. Okay, so this concept, okay, take it to the next thing it is how that relate back to the K, the stability factor that we have introduced last week. So the stability factor introduced last week, it is also talking about the understeer oversteer. Okay, so last time we talked about the K oversteer, understeer. Actually, most of the time we talk about more on the oversteer. Okay, so you remember when we start last lesson, we have a speeding off-road. Okay, so that is a oversteer moment, oversteer scenario. Okay, and also at the end, you remember I introduced critical speed. Okay, so about that critical speed, your car will out of control. Actually, that critical speed only happens for oversteer. Okay, so in understeer and neutral steer, you don't see that critical speed. So you think about, oh, okay, when I design my car, should I select understeer? Will be better. Okay, so you have a question. Okay, so the problem is, do we have problem if we are going to use understeer, or we should choose neutral steer? Okay, so in a point of view, of course, it seems like choose neutral steer, it is nice. Okay, in math, everything balanced. The difficulties is that, first of all, are you able to tune your CG just in the middle? Okay, so this is one of the concern. Another concern is that you search the web, a lot of people say the streetcar using understeer. So it should be some advantage on understeer. So why they use understeer rather than use neutral steer? I think we all have this kind of question, right? Okay, so I try to evolve based on here and then talk more about the understeer and let you have some consideration on this. Okay, so anyway, to continue, we still have a lot of math. Then I try to introduce another concept. Static margin. Okay. So this is the horizon. So distance along the trusses between NSP and CG divided by wheelbase. Okay, so by definition, this SM equals to D over L. So it's just this thing divided by whole wheelbase. So this D is just the neutral steer point divided by the whole base. neutral steer points, suppose in the middle of the car, if your front and rear tire the same. Okay, but bear in mind, your front and rear tire, the cornering stiffness may not be the same if it is just your choice. If this is not the same, then your neutral steer point, it is not in the middle. Okay, that's why we play around with this. Okay. D minus A over, this D minus A over L, okay. So D over L, it is your neutral steer point. Okay, minus A over L. Then the neutral steer point is already know. It is equals to A over L minus N bay Y bay times 1 over L minus A over L. Okay. So it's just this one. Right. So I just sub this thing to the NSP term. And this is equals to minus ACF. I jumped. So your SM is equals to minus N bay Y naught 1 over L. So because this two subtract out, this is coming to this, and then we again substitute the N bay and Y bay. Okay, so this is minus ACF minus BCR over CF plus CR vanilla 1 over L. Some arrangement, put the L under, then I have minus A over L CF minus this plus B over L C R. Oops. Jump off. Over CF plus R. Okay. So these things actually, for the steering point of view, you have, if you have positive SM, which is understeer, negative SM, you have oversteer. Okay, so we have this, and how this related to our K stability factor. Okay, so we have the tools using K. Okay, and we have the tools using the static margin. So how they related? So remember, remember K equals to M over L minus N base over Y base and del minus N base over Y base times Y del. So this is what we have last week, and you see this equation here looks like this part, right? Then denote K is equal to SM one over M and del minus N A over Y. So this is the relationship between A and stability factor and static margin. Okay. So these are some intermediate steps. So you may confuse how to make use of that. Okay, that's okay. We continue. We continue. Okay, so how to make use of that? Okay, so first of all, we go back to slip angle, and the slip angle we talked about in the past. It is just the bicycle model. Okay, and then how that can be more including your suspension effect. Okay, there's some relationship that we can make use to. Okay, why we care about that? So for fixed charges with the wheel, okay, then you should have some slip angle that's just based on geometry. Okay, because your curve and then it's just purely geometry dependent slip angle. But in your geometry of your suspension, usually your suspension, it is movable, and it moves. You have some pole angle, camber angle that, in addition to those slip angle, okay, that you need to encounter with that. Okay, we're trying to try to find out, rather than just slip angle of the front and the back, try to find out the effective slip angle. I mean the more realistic slip angle that including the suspension, how that could be. Okay, so the slip angle and the, how can I say, effective So just the slip angle steer and including the suspension slip angle steer, these two, how that relate. Okay. So in the past, that's just a review. Your front slip angle, 40 plus AR over V minus L. Okay, your rear slip angle, which is beta minus BR V. Okay, so this is that we learned in the past. And together they give rear equals to minus beta minus AR V plus del plus beta minus PR over V. So, oops. This two gone. You have minus A plus B out. Oops. Over V plus del minus over F. So my del actually is equals to A plus B minus F. So this just a review. So you remember this is the true steering. This term is your optimum steering. And then this two is your slip angle steering. Okay, if your slip angle just cancel out, you have pure optimum steering. Okay. So you know this is the option. So how that related to hey? Okay. Hey, yes. Function of the angle. Okay. So in the past, you have this a very famous equation that we talked about at the end of last week. Okay. So this actually, if you eliminate out del, this is equals to L over R. 1 plus K V square. So you remember this equation? So how to control the steering? Then come up with a curvature, okay, related to this. And last time at the end, we talked about make this one to be 0. Okay, so the del actually is this function. Okay, now you have your, that means your del equals to L over R plus L K V square over R. Okay, so you can see this equation and this equation, this term and this term actually, like, okay, and this equals to this. Your slip angle, the total slip angle actually related to this K. Okay. Therefore, so this looks, you have minus 1 plus real equals to LK B square over R. Okay, then K actually equals to minus F plus alpha R over B square over R. So the K actually inverse proportional to your wheelbase, and then related to your slip angle, and also inversely proportional to your acceleration. B square over R, which is your radial acceleration. Okay, so now correct. Oh. So earlier we have K equals to the margin. One over N. And that minus N bay, Y bay, Y del. Okay. So very long. This term equals to minus CF, and this term, no, this is the whole term equals to ACF minus ECR. Yeah. And N del minus ACF. Okay, so these are all the cornering stiffness. Okay, all the corner. So try to translate it back to cornering stiffness so that we can measure. Then your K is equals to m times Sm minus ACF minus ACF minus BCR over CF plus CR times minus. So just substitute in everything. And common denominator. Should I do it? Yes. Try to make sure everything clear. This is Sm. Common denominators we should have minus A B F square minus ACF plus BCR ACF ACFCR plus BCFCR. Is it correct? Oh, no. A minus plus ACF square minus B. Then you have this over Sm CF CR CF plus long. Okay, so this thing actually is L. So we translate it all to become the C. Okay, so this is the common denominator. So this terms inside, and this one is ACF plus ACF square, ACF, ACR, which is the second term. Long. Okay, so the trick is this. We try to, so this is still K, and then we try to times this equation with P over G. G is the property. Okay. Then mg is just the weight. This is minus over GL. CF plus CR over CF CR times SM. Okay. So this is the mass of the car that would be useful for us to convert it to the weight. Okay, the weight you know, real weight you know, SM we know, and this is choice of the tire. Okay, second trick. So this whole thing times V square. Okay, this is K. Okay. Then your K is equals to minus 1 over CL. CF plus CR over W over CF over weight CR over weight so this term just a back manipulation. Okay, why we do that? You remember the cornering stiffness actually dependent on your weight. So you push more or less, it changes. Okay, so we normalize it. Normalize it. A bit confused, right? Any question want to ask us? Still okay.
Corners, that should be the easiest thing we can get from there.
Yes. Okay. So the stability factor related to something that seems that you can measure. Okay, more realistic because it related to the N or something, then it's just a bit difficult. Okay. So now you have your actually the K also equals to minus LF plus LR V square over R equals to this whole thing. CF plus CR would you CF over W CR over W. So this is from
Yeah.
this K is equal to your slip angle. So it is also related to your SM and your cornering stiffness measure. Okay. So now we can relate. If you rearrange the terms, then you have minus del F plus half equals to minus CF plus CR over W. W C and you have the V square over R term versus your G term. So this is just how many G you have. You usually call this Y. So if you have your corrected operation, and this thing, it is, you can call this effective. So rather than these things only dependent on the geometry, if you already have suspension effect, that when you measure the CF and CL, because this is somewhat you can get it from testing, then you can adjust this to become your realistic slip angle. So actually the whole term is just the slip steering. Okay. So you remember, so we have a topic, slip angle steer and effective slip angle steer. Okay, slip angle steer, we purely this. Okay, effective slip angle steer, we including the suspension geometry, but the suspension geometry, it means that these terms you already encounter the suspension. Okay, so that's why you may need simulation or testing to find out. Okay, so that's why it's a experimental data over there. And also related to your how many G on this. Okay. So up to now, okay. Okay. At least if you're confused about, we are still talking about the steering. So the steering always consists of the upper steering and also the slip angle steering. Okay, and what we are trying to play around, this is the slip angle steering. And we try to understand how our design change or tire selection will affect this term. Okay, so be sure that this term change, the concept is that your car actually rotating faster or slower and in which rotation direction. Why you have over or understeer? Because your car self-rotate. Okay, and it self-rotate, it can rotate clockwise or counterclockwise. That will come up to understeer or oversteer, right? Okay, and then faster and slower will come up to the handling better for you or not. Okay, so better or not, it is that first of all, whether it is you feel comfortable to control and you know it will happen. Okay, so this still it is the core design. So now the next thing we are going to talk about how faster or slower is spin. Okay, we already talk about understeer, oversteer. Understeer, oversteer. We try to talk about which direction we are going to spin. Okay, that's why we have understeer, oversteer. But how fast is spin, we haven't talked about. Now we try. So you understand the whole picture? I mean the math itself, blah blah blah. Maybe you lost track on that, but still, why we talk about the SM and K? So SM and K actually tell you which direction is spin and spin. Okay. So we have another concept, we call it cornering compliance, okay, which is developed from this guy, one job, cornering compliance. Okay, so since we have minus KL V square over R equals to okay, and this term can convert it to force. This is the lateral force in the front divided by the cornering stiffness minus lateral force from the wheel. This. Okay, so this should be the total force with the ratio of your wheelbase minus F A over L e to the R. Okay. This is equals to, so times the G, we will have the weight for CF minus W A over L this whole thing times a term like this. Okay, so why is that we always use these things actually? This is the mass times the radial acceleration. This is the mass with the G. It's the weight. So you say that the mass cancel out. We always have the applied radial acceleration versus the G. That's why we are always talking about how many G apply to our car. Radial. This is how these things come from. Actually, it's the force of how much lateral force we apply to our vehicle per our vehicle weight. It turns out it is how many G. Okay. Then we have minus A L B square over R equals to rate of 1 CF minus rate of year CR. This is the AR over G, and actually this term is AR. Okay, so these things cancel out. And finally, we have AL equals to minus WF over CF per G minus WR per CR per G. And we call this whole thing EF minus what we call corner ring compliance. So this term actually is just how many degree per G. I mean, how much angle per G. So how to make use of this? How to make use of this? So let well, okay. So come back, you remember again this equation. Okay, again. just rearrange the term. So now you know from this LK equals to del over V square over R minus L over V square. So this is equal to this. Then we have del over V square over R L over V square plus EF minus ER. Right, just substitute it. The checkers times then you have L over R V square over R. So we have this trick, then we can, this is the AR, this is AR.
Angle of what? See. Other than paper,
Then the del. I should say something like, let's do it like this. So del per G over AR. So A over G, right? It is the AR, not AR, AY. Lateral acceleration versus G, okay. Equals this one, which is the del arc command versus AY per G per G plus dF minus d R. Okay, so just take away del over AY equals to AY what is the same? Plus dF times C minus d R times G. Okay, so this is the steering how many G? Okay, so here maximum and also this term. Seems familiar. Okay. Yes. So and of course this term all depend related to your understeering or oversteering. Okay. So
定係去佢個睇人發小俾我。啊點解啊？跟住就係其實佢上緊堂，跟住佢前面有個2個鐘頭嘅
Okay. Uh, okay, so actually
What is the physical meaning of the corner confined actually? I don't quite get what it really means and what it really does.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. So, people give this term and steering gradient. So it depends, okay, whether it's under steering or over steering. So steering gradient. So in simplest, I just put a name UG understeering gradient because I'm trying to talk about understeering. That's why I put this term understeering gradient. Okay.
So it's chopped off the like 2 points on the right side.
What do you mean?
On side the effect on side the
Yes. We always the another the additional side it is from the slip angle.
okay.
Yes, it is from this. And Ackerman don't give you the car rotation. Okay, only the slip angle give you the rotation.
Geometric line.
Yes, because you see you play around with the Ackerman just the triangle. You don't get it. But the unbalanced moment it is from the slip angle that rotate based on your CG, right? So you always see the terms like this. So we just normalize it with the lateral acceleration. Okay, so this then related to your steering sensitivity. Okay, so now we have this term. Okay, so just like your d del, or I should reverse it. Change with the side force, change with your steering, which is equals to 1 over the whole thing. Del command AY plus steering gradient. Okay. And this things actually it is L over R over V square over R over G. So AY is the radial acceleration per G, and Ackerman it is your wheelbase versus your rotating radius, right? You saw it most of the time. Then your D A Y E L which is equals to substitute this times L G over 3 square plus U G. We have this function. This function somewhat important for our steering design consideration. Okay. How's that? First of all, if my steering gradient is 0. Okay, then this is somewhat neutral steer car, right? Okay, and this is a square function with velocity. Square function of velocity. So the graph should look like this. Let me see. If I put this, the A, Y, D, L, and this is my velocity. Okay. So the AY, the del versus V should give a parabola, right? So this is the UG equals to 0. That means neutral steer. Good. Right? So we getting bigger and bigger, this term getting smaller and smaller. Okay. And that's why it was. Okay. But if we including the UG hat, if the UG it is not 0, and it is something positive, that means understeer car. Okay. We getting bigger and bigger, this term getting smaller. UG become dominant. Then you should have a curve, something like this. So at the beginning it's still dominant at the beginning, and then getting higher, the UG dominant, and then it dies out. Okay, and this is something, for example, I have UG equals to 1. Okay, if my UG getting bigger, and for example, I get just some scale. Okay, it should look like this. Okay, so at this moment, velocity low, slow. Coming down. Okay. We height the go fast. The understeer gradient dominant. So you can take a look, for example, some high speed here. So if I have a fixed speed, if I reverse my equation. LG over V square. So here actually, this one is just reverse this terms. Okay. You will see A1. This is understood gradient. So it will be stable at the beginning. And then once the understood gradient, I mean the acceleration increase, it will go exponentially increase in one fixed high speed. At high speed, it will come up here. The low speed is should be okay. So what it means, okay, maybe you think this complicated. What it means is that when you drive a car, okay, if you have a neutral steer car, then you have higher and higher lateral acceleration. That means you go more curve, you just more and more. Okay, so you turn the deeper the curve, deeper the steering wheel will turn. Okay, but for understeer car, if you are in high speed, you turn a little bit. Because in high speed, the car rotating fast. It already turns a lot. Understeer car.
This kind of counterintuitive. What really? But why? We can deduce that from the graph, or what do you mean?
You can deduce.
So AY is only the lateral force, right? The change in lateral.
So it's just like
but the gradient is so
in
small.
slow speed,
Slower.
same curve, you just turn a little bit. If in high speed, same curve, you just need to turn a little bit.
Wow. turn a little bit, like. Oh, it turns a lot in a oversteering car, like. Really?
Then if I reverse it, if it is an oversteer car, that means if I turn
A lot.
Because I know what you're thinking about, but you're thinking about fixed velocity.
Yeah, let me say like I'm going through.
So you should think about I'm increasing my velocity. So increasing my velocity actually understeering car rotation fast.
Is it rotating the other way? Why is it not rotating the other way? Why is it rotating, converging it?
Yeah.
The car should be diverging outside of that turning radius, right?
The rotating direction and the rotating rate.
So an understeer car actually goes the other way, right?
Yes.
So for like normal street cars, they're like EDF proof, so they're made understeer inherently. So why do you need less steer input? Like if I put a lot of steer input into an understeer car at high speed, let's say 180, what happens? It won't go that straight, but it'll still give some response.
No, we are not talking about like this. It is the same curvature when we are in high speed or in low speed.
So
High speed and low speed will have different lateral acceleration.
yes, you can still corner 1G at 80 and even at 180. It's
Yes,
just
but
different
the
direction.
steering angle you apply is not the same.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yes.
Apply less at high speed, of course, because the corner is actually not that tight.
Yes.
Oh, you have to take into account of acceleration, not actually talking about the rotation of the car. We're talking about lateral acceleration. So to achieve 1G at 80, you need like I think 30 degrees. To achieve 1G at like a high,
Yeah. I don't know whether
you need
how many of you are driving.
I can drive, but I don't have a car.
Okay. Because if you have experience in highway, when you want to pass the other car, it seems like you don't need to
turn a
rotate a little bit.
If you turn a lot.
Yes, but in normal streets, you need to like this, right?
This is an effect of understeer.
Yes.
For oversteer cars, you have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
No,
How
we
about
don't.
oversteer cars?
Understeer.
So even for
I
oversteer
think
cars, it's still the
understeer
same.
car,
it's still the same
oversteer,
thing.
same thing.
Yeah,
Because this term still applies.
and because the same graph has the effect of still increasing along this. So the basic principle of the control at high speed is same in understeer and oversteer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Go back to tail end. So
咁多 set 四同九孖嘅分別啫，
so the thing is, okay,
因為九孖係拉唔住嘅。
street car, usually they design with understeer and understeer a lot. They are okay. Because they won't always go to UG dominant speed.
Street cars.
Okay. For us, a race car, we usually try to operate our car at very high slip angle.
Yes.
So always handle our car almost even. So if you try to make a big understeering design, then in a fast angle, then the driver needs to be very precise because he can turn just very little bit. Especially our Formula student car, I think you guys all trying at the Hall A, the prototype car. So our steering ratio, I think it just like almost 2-to-1. So 40-45 degrees, you turn 90 degrees, something like this.
Roughly, yes.
Yes, roughly yes. So in a high speed, how can you bet design if you are
盡雞咁做嘅話，碌去30到40度。
yes. So you need if you understand you are trying to be high in big understeering, then your driver will be difficult to drive because he needs to be very precise. Okay, and also actually, we just talked about the geometry.
Yeah.
So our car steering, actually, it is a mechanical design, right? You actually feel the reaction force. This is based on the friction that comes from the slip angle. It turns out at high speed, you don't feel the reaction force. So the force is lighter and lighter. Okay, that's why when you drive the car at higher speed, the drivers always say, I don't feel it well because I don't get the grip of reaction that he's trying to control. Because for argument, actually you turn more, you feel more rebounds, and then you based on your rebounds, you can catch up for your precision. Okay, but for the under or oversteering dominant scale, you have non-linear or lost the feeling of this. So the handling will become, I would say, you need to accomplish or train this rather than you just can feel it.
For amateur drivers to push it, they always try to push for like a certain angle and then they correct it. They repeat this cycle again and again. For like good racing drivers, they could just hold it and correct less.
Well, maybe it depends on the car.
For the same car.
For example, for F1 or something, they have the power steering. This is another story because that one have a filter in between. For us, purely mechanical linkage. Okay, then it really depends on this equation.
Average to amateur drivers, they correct a lot because their reaction times or they cannot sense the car before it catches a slide or catches too slow, so the correction is huge. That's
Yes,
how they
because they cannot be. Okay, but that's okay. I finish. Okay. So interesting. So a lot. I know a lot of equations, but the message is that.
how to plot.
Okay, first of all, you are just controlling the rotation of your car, the direction. So whether the rotation is understeer, oversteer, and then the cornering compliance actually tell you how faster and slower the change of the rotation based on your applied lateral acceleration. Okay, so these are all the equations trying to tell you. Okay, so this is my turn and I pass it to Lam. We have physical training.
So everybody looks so sporty today. I have one more question first.
Okay.
How does the two questions actually? How does the understeering gradient look like if we plot a graph against a thing? What can we call it? I don't know. But what is the
Well, actually they have a lot of information about cornering compliance. That should be a reference paper. I changed my notes from that reference paper, and you can. They have the example on there. Okay, you can take a look of that paper. It's not that long. Okay, and I changed out the information from there. Okay. Because I look at the book and I don't understand what the book saying. That's why I refer to the paper.
Is it this one? That window?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll share it to. That's where the
Okay.
So I see some are the new faces we haven't seen last time, right? Just come today. Am I correct? Okay. Anyway, let us present the data from last time. Okay. See, not the real data. I mean just the presentation. So let me present in here. Okay, and I share the screen. Am I sharing the screen? No, I'm not. I'm sorry, I don't know. How the hell I share my screen? Oh, here. And share. So because time a little bit running out, so I try to do quick. So last week we have did the benchmark test, right? You against the wind, the blowing to your eyes, right? So it's the Yakung Fan Min Ban from last time. So this is the data from last time. Last week we did the benchmark test. I intentionally not telling you before the test because I want you to do nothing and I really get your real data at that time. I don't want somebody to say, oh, this week I do benchmark test, so I do some tests first. No. So I didn't tell you anything. And we do three parts. We do your benchmark of your body weight, your height, your latest percentage, the ocular features, and the neural features, right? So Clarence is the lightest and the fittest guy in our team. For the lowest IOP is Damien, and the highest CCT is Brandon. Let me explain one by one. And then finally is about the reaction time. Damien is the quickest response, but the most steady one is Lewis. So every time when Lewis kicks the numbers, very precise. But make the biggest improvement is Brandon. So let me explain one by one. Let me yeah, thank you. So for the lightest one, like what we said last time, because if you lightest, then we have more benchmark bandwidth for the engineer to make the design a little bit lighter, right? Like I'm 80 and he's 50, then already 30 kilograms for you to do more design, right? A bigger engine, a bigger, more tougher Scrum Master might be. So for the lowest IOP, like last time I say, when you keep doing the exercise, actually your intracranial pressure increase. The increase will increase your IOP at the same time. So if you have a higher IOP, not only damaging your nerve cell, also change your visions because the thickness is changed. Sometimes when you run, when you just stop, you feel your eye size a little bit blurred, similar. So that's why the higher CCT is one of the cases we want to talk about. So think of this is your cornea. If this is thin, you can see this ratio, right? Length per edge. The longer it is, the easier it bends, right? But if I make it shorter, the H and the L become, the ratio is smaller, it becomes more stiff, right? Similar to your cornea, if your cornea is thicker, which means it has higher resistance to your IOP change. And we see Brandon is the strongest guy. Finally, it's about the reaction time. The quickest guy, I don't need to tell you why, but for the Lewis case, like every improvement Lewis made, I can confirm every time you can make the same improvement. So the consistency is important in this case. So, but all those data only tell you have a better condition in the beginning, and you have higher chance to get good performance if we conduct the same training because you are born to be better somehow. Your performance for your racing actually also depends on endurance performance, your driving skill, and other parts to compensate. So for the others, you may not in the list, but it's not be shameful to be weak, but staying weak is shameful. So join the training section, okay? So today, it's about a running test. So remember, the beauty of life, you can only walk away in. You cannot wait the way out, okay? So in a more scientific way to say about that, we are investigating your cardiovascular response when we induce a hypothermia condition of your body. So when we run, we want to mimic the potential happens in when you drive a car. So we know in the beginning you have better condition. Can you withstand and you have better performance when you keep driving the car? So when you drive, like last time I said, it will be hot. You need to do a lot of exercise. So, and you build up the heat again and again. So we want to know who has the better cardiovascular response. And then we want to see, like after you run, how the performance is. And also, is your cognition fatigue happens when you do the vigorous test. Like when you do the math, you do the math before exercise and after exercise. It's two things, right? After run, and I just argue 2 + 2, how much? You may say 5, right? I'm so tired. 6, I think, like this. We want to see, are you making decision dumber and dumber when you become tired and tired, right? So, today, first of all, in this room, we'll measure your heartbeat, your blood pressure, then we'll do a condition test. So you need to calculate for me 100 minus 8 until it becomes 0, like 192, keep going, keep calculating. Then afterwards, after we do the measurement, we go to the courtyard and then we run for 2 kilometers. So yesterday we do the test. Gary and I run like 1 minute and 50 seconds. So I expect everyone can run around 12 minutes, can finish the test. And one more test is Stanley will run as well. See who is use longer time than Stanley. Then you are weak. And do one. Okay. Is that clear?
Hello.
Okay. So let's go. Let's do the test. So everybody, sleep your sleep. Everybody, listen. So, Zero. That one you can see that's the blood pressure machine. First you measure right there, and then you found Tony, Jack, and Jerry for your cognition test. So please start. Audrey and
你覺得我係咩咧？你覺得我係咩？
我都要瞓嘅。
我係凳底嘅喎，令到大家唔好咁。
So can you guys? Oh, let me stop the sharing and then let's start. So see you guys next time. Bye bye. Okay.